Good morning, everyone. Before starting this presentation, we would like to introduce ourselves first. I am Kyla Luquinio.
I am Lovely Jane Louie.
I am Ann Kayla Magsayo.
I am Shala Lopez.
I'm Ryan B. Mahomok.
I am Kirby Charles Lopez.
I am Miko Mindi.
And we are the Group 5. Today, we will be presenting our report, which is the Lesson 12, Bonsai by Edith Tiempo. We have objectives to define or redefine formalism, review the typical questions that critics ask when reading literature using formalist approach, select questions appropriate for a formalist reading of Bonsai by Edith Tiempo, and interpret Bonsai using formalist approach. The next slide will be given to us by Miss Lovely Jane Louie. Proceed.
In Lesson 2, we already learned about the theory of formalism, which is reported by the Group 2. In this lesson, we will review what formalism is and use it to prepare a more comprehensive criticism of Bonsai by Edith Tiempo. Next slide, please. Redefine formalism. Formalism is a branch of literary theory and criticism which deals with the structures of text. It means that external agents outside of the text are not taken into consideration. All the things about culture, politics, and authors' intent or societal influences are excluded from formalism. So formalism, it refers to a critical approaches that analyze, interpret, or evaluate the inherent feature of a text. This feature include not only grammar and syntax, but also literary devices, such as meter and figures of speech. The formalist approach reduces the importance of the text, historical, biographical, and cultural context. Formalism is important to learn because this study was not merely about formal elements, though it stressed the importance of studying form. So now I will be given to the floor to Ms. Magsayo to introduce to us the author of the poem Bonsai.
Edith, Edith L. Tiempo, a poet, fiction writer, teacher, and literary critic. One of the funniest Filipino writers in English whose work are characterized by a remarkable fusion of style and substance, of craftsmanship and insight. Her poems are intricate verbal transfigurations of significant experiences. So Edith El Tiempo, she inspired for writing the poem was entitled Bonsai because she motivated to share her ad for shrinking the details of her life because she loves just something that could be kept like a bonsai. The poem Bonsai is about how love is simplified and reduced so that one can give it out to others. So those objects with love for a person and those objects become the symbol of life. It is rather about how the love for a person or place can be touched through an object that involves of them. The objects are easy to keep and they become the keeper of memory and of the love that is held for the person.
Bonsai is a kind of plant and literally the art of growing such a plant. Edith Tiampo wrote a poem called Bonsai in which she discusses how even small things can be treasured. This formalistic approach, on the other hand, is concerned with the text itself, not with the meaning of the poetry. It also concentrated on other aspects of a poem, such as the literary devices used. Today, we are going to be reading a poem, Bonsai by Edith Lopez Tiempo. All that I love, I fold over once and once again, and keep in a box or asleep in a hollow post, or in my shoe. All that I love? Why, yes, but for the moment and for all time both. Something that folds and keeps easy. Son's note or dad's one gari tie, a roto picture of a beauty queen, a blue Indian shawl, even a money bill. Its utter sublimation, a feat this heart's control, moment to moment, to scale all love down to a cup hand size, till seashells are broken pieces from God's own bright tip, and life and love are real, things you can run and breathless hand over to the merest child. The next slide will be given to us by Miss Sheila Lopez. Proceed.
The poem of Bonsai has 4 verse paragraph and it is written in the first person point. Because of the word I, the person used 3 verse poem and the lines are short. There are regular pattern, rhyme, idiom, or meter. The first stanza line 1 and 2 are resonance. They have the repetition of vowel sounds, and the line 3 and 4, the word once is repeated twice. The second stanza repeated the first line of the first stanza, but this time it is not a period. The person used the question mark, then asked why. The second line. The poem entitled Bonsai is reflected to a person who experience has living the life in a miserable happiness and it courage to grow to survive.
Second stanza is a oxymoron since the second line and third line are contradictory to each other. The persona answered the word why with yes, but for the moment, then she quickly added the contradiction, and for all time, both the persona also listed down the things that she folded and kept, such as son's note or dad's one greedy tie, a roto picture of a young queen, a blue Indian shawl, even a money bill, and looking at those things truly, the persona listed the things that are worthless or no sense at all. Nevertheless, there is one thing that is valuable, which is the son's note. Therefore, the character in this sentence simply writes a note that if we just read it without interpreting of the stanza, we can generally seen as nonsense. But if we took through, we can say that deep within her heart, those things that she expressed, it is somehow a reminder to her of those people she once loved. Next reporter, please.
Formalist approach. The third stanza also close to the meaning of bonsai, the title of the poem. Since, since it is a shrub grown in a pot, however, bonsai can be trimmed to prevent it from growing into normal size, and the love here can be simplified and reduced in order for us to give it to others. The third stanza means that love has no size. It's either big or small. We can trim it until it's perfectly grown. Love must be nurtured in order to grow. However, it should be managed like how we manage the bonsai. It must be cherished in order not to die. It must have a proper care, but always remember that it should not overdo, because giving too much attention might end up with a bad result. Giving too much care is bad. That's why handle it appropriately and appreciate those small things given by others. Next reporter.
The four or the last stanza. Line 1 and 2, the persona used metaphor, since these two lines are ideas that are directly referred as something that is not. For instance, till seashells are broken pieces, are showing that human will die. And from God's own right it means the God's authority and power to end our lives. The last 3 lines of the fourth stanza is telling us to make our life meaningful by sharing love to each other because of life is too short and it's only temporary.
And we are the Group 5. Thank you for listening.